Up in the morning, out of my bed. Music is playing in my head. There in the corner, my palette and brush. Starting my day with a rainbow rush. Hey, 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 it's a brand new day. Hey, 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 it's a brand new day.
I couldn't imagine life without music. Music can take a bad day and turn it into the best day ever. I think art does the same thing with space. So if you walk into a house that has no artwork on the walls, it's going to be drab. But if you line your walls with art, then you get an entirely different feeling when you walk in. It enhances your house in a way that nothing else could. And I feel like music's the same way with your ears and your soul, you know? So I think that art does the visual of what music does. I started painting when I was 2 years, or painting when I was 2 years old. I've got artwork all the way backdated to then.
What did you paint it to?
All sorts of things. When I was younger, I primarily did like house scenes, and I would do pictures on the walls in the houses. I do a lot of animals, that sort of thing when I was little. But I also did some African art, or African-inspired art, when I was like 8 years old, and all my art teachers growing up always kind of let me do my own thing and make my own syllabus, I suppose. So I always had freedom, which was amazing. They definitely encouraged me. I remember being nervous. I remember that one of my first art shows, Ivy Hayes, a local legend who's since passed, came out, and I was like freaking out. Like I've never had like celebrity struck situation, but when I saw Ivy Hayes at my art show, it gave me a lot of encouragement that somebody that amazing would come out to a college kid, you know, to see their art. But I definitely just keep pushing, and I don't get nervous anymore. But it's something that I just love doing, and I don't think that I could live without it, you know. I got invited to paint from the promoter, and so they had me set up on stage, and I painted George Clinton, and he ended up getting one of my prints, and he really enjoyed it. So he's a really cool guy. The most difficult piece is the backdrop for Amani Smith and the Give Thanks Man, because of the sheer size, the logistics, having to incorporate weathering. I mean, it's 20 feet by 15 feet, and it's going to be the backdrop that they put up while they perform. So just figuring out wind, rain, venue, you know, putting grommets in it so that they'll be able to hang it and weight it down. And then, you know, that's just all prep work. So then you get to the painting, and it's huge, lots of detail. So that definitely, I believe, is probably the most difficult. It's been a lot more difficult than doing murals the same size, because I'm having to prepare the entire canvas, if you will. It continues to grow, thankfully. But I think that my favorite year was when I got to do the New Orleans painting, and CBS sponsored the billboards, and then at the same time I had the solo show at the Los Angeles Fine Arts Building. So having both of those go on at the same time, it just really brought me kind of out of myself, and it was just really gratifying. I think the low point in my personal life is when both of my parents passed last year. I definitely took time out from art because I just needed to get through all of that, and that was just completely unexpected, and it's kind of like you get your legs kicked out from under you for a second. So that was definitely my personal low point, but I'm fortunate to have so many people around me that I have a really great support. I had a great support system and still do. He's a painter also, and so we have a lot in common, and we can bounce ideas off of each other all the time. He understands the work and the life of an artist, and how sometimes it's different than if you were to choose a different medium to create. It's a good relationship. We're friends. We just understand all of it. I was just sitting around one day with my lovely rescue Panda. I rescued her at 8 weeks old. And she just turned 11 this week. So I've had her forever and ever. She's my soul dog. But I was just watching her one day and I was like, her personality is so fantastic. I was like, she has to be in a kid's book. And that's the only reason that I even thought to write and illustrate children's books, was because of her and how amazing I thought her personality was. And so I've written and illustrated 2, Meet Panda and Panda's First Christmas. I've done book signings across North Carolina, and I've done a lot of stuff through the arts councils in North Carolina where I help children create and make their own book. 2 of the women that put on the Salsa Splash knew my art. I've also live painted for one of their fathers. It's Sonny. He plays a didgeridoo with Cy Collins, and they've been friends of mine for years, and we're like family. And so she invited me because they were going to be performing, and then they brought salsa dancers from all over the United States. It was amazing. I'm a big believer in energy. The universe, definitely. I think that you can train your mind to create a life that you want, and if you can just be aware of things around you, I believe that putting positivity out there returns positivity, but I'm a big believer in energy.
Head full of happiness, heart full of soul. Life is good, now I'm taking control. So many things that I have to say. Thank you, God, for this beautiful day. Hey, 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 it's a brand new